How's it going? I'm Mr. Vonderheide. This video is for students who are currently in Algebra 2 and are considering trying to make the jump to calculus and skipping pre-calculus. So I teach AP Calculus A, B, and BC at Rio Grande High School. This will be my 8th year teaching both of those subjects. We have a very successful program, which is partly due to the great teaching that you guys get in your previous classes. Now, in general, taking pre-calculus is definitely going to make calculus easier. Pre-calculus is a tough class itself, and the version we teach at AG is tough, and that's definitely helpful to me. But we've found, I've been doing this for 4 years now, of trying to get some Algebra 2 students, the ones who are doing very well in Algebra 2, to go ahead and skip pre-calculus and go into calculus. Now, the motivation for this was because our school district stopped offering geometry in the 8th grade. So a lot of you guys right now in Algebra 2 had to take Algebra 1 in 8th grade, even though you probably did very well at it. Could have taken geometry. Then you took geometry last year as freshmen, did very well in it, and you're taking Algebra 2 and you're kicking butt. So you're these students that, mainly the students I'm talking to are the students who probably would have taken geometry in 8th grade, but couldn't. You are the first official class that didn't get to do that. So I had to come up with a solution, because otherwise, if you do that, if you stay on the same track, you take pre-calc next year as a junior, then you can take calculus A, B as a senior. But we offer second year calculus BC at our school. And we've always had a large number of students take it, get college credit for it, take the AP exam, and be that much further ahead in math and be that much more competitive for college admissions or just whatever, to take a tougher class. Back in 2016-17, some people could take summer school, and that's an option for you guys. You could take pre-calc over the summer, which sure, it would definitely help you get a little more ready. But it's definitely a time commitment to take during the summer. It's a condensed class. You have to go to class multiple days a week. And a lot of times people during the summer can't make that commitment. They're going on vacations. There's different things that get in the way where they couldn't go to a local community college to take that class. And that's an option. Now, I had 5 people take it 4 years ago, took summer school, pre-calculus. And, if they got an A in the class, that was good, because I would say the pre-calc at our community college is probably a little easier than the pre-calc at our high school. So they really had to get an A. And then generally they got 5s on the AP exam. All my students take the AP exam, so all my results are pretty, accurate. There were a couple who didn't get at least A's, and they passed the AP test still. So now that was the first year I had 5 people study pre-calculus on their own over the summer, and that's what I'm kind of giving you an opportunity to think about. I'm going to try and do it a little different this summer. But the 5 people who studied themselves, what I did was I gave them this big packet of all the pre-calc handouts and worksheets and a list of all the assignments, including book assignments. They checked a book out from the library, and then they tried to just kind of do it on their own. Now, that's a lot of material, but for some of them, that was better than trying to take the class at an actual community college. So they tried it that way, and the 5 people that did that all ended up with A's in my class and got 5s on the AP exam, the highest score you can get. The next year in 2017-18, I had 9 people take summer school. If they earned an A in summer school, they eventually earned a 5 on the AP test for calculus. If they earned a B, then they got like a 4. So they did well, if they took the summer school class. I had 4 people self-study that summer, and all of them got 5s. So it's been working out. 18-19, last year, 7 people took summer school. If they got an A, they got a 5. If they got a 4, if they got a B or lower in the class, they got a 3 or 4 in the AP exam. They all passed the exam. We had 17 people study over the summer that we recommended. And over 10 of them got fives, 5 of them got fours, 3 of them got threes. They all passed the AP test. Most of them are getting fives. Some of them kind of decided to do it that were a little more on the edge, but they were able to do okay. And then this year, we've had 6 people that we recommended to take the jump and skip it, and they're in my class right now. And they're all on track to get a 5 in a week and a half on their AP exam because I give them practice exam. So in general, we do well. The students that have made this choice upon the recommendation of their Algebra 2 teachers have done well. Pre-calculus is great and it gives you a lot of extra practice, but you've seen most of the material that you need in Algebra 2. The other thing that helps make it better, and just to give you some numbers too, pretty much all my students take the AP test. I think I have one person this year not taking the AP test out of over 100 students. And last year we had a 95% pass rate in Calc AB. Generally we have a 100% pass rate in Calc BC. And the people I'm talking to, mainly a lot of them here, if you're a sophomore, the goal is that you could take Calc BC your senior year with me and that you could get more college credit. So one of the reasons that my students, also I think do well in Calc AB, and also the students who skip it or take it over the summer and get kind of a little less strong version of pre-calc, is I spend the first 3 units, half of the first semester, the first quarter of the year in Calc AB, reviewing all the things that you guys need to know really well from Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, or anything that might have been introduced in pre-calculus. And I spend 7 weeks reviewing all that material. So I make sure that everyone is really good at the stuff that you have to know. Now, that doesn't include everything that you've learned in those classes, but I'm focusing on all the skills that I need you to be good at. So if you skip pre-calculus, you're probably going to, you might skip some things that they would have taught you there, but in our pre-calc class is tough, but I'm going to focus on what you absolutely have to know and be good at. And usually the students who skip pre-calculus, they struggle a little bit those first 3 units as they're trying to catch up to all the other students who had that extra practice in pre-calc. And, it's definitely kind of extra work and, commitment to try and be successful. But usually after the quarter, they start to kind of, they kind of hit their stride. They've kind of caught up to everyone. And by the end of the first semester, they're getting their A's and they're starting to rise in the class. And by second semester, third quarter, they're usually my highest performing students. So those of you who skip pre-calc because we've identified you as superstars in Algebra 2, you guys usually end up being my best students. It doesn't happen right away because you have a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of stuff to kind of make up. But you're intelligent, you're smart, you're driven, you're motivated, you're hardworking, and that pays off. And they usually get some of my highest AP scores on tests. I give a bunch of practice tests. I'm very thorough in covering all the material in AP Calculus and getting it done well in advance with AP tests and giving you lots of practice tests to take. So the difference this summer is that I kind of always thought it was a little just chaotic to give you a huge folder of worksheets and a textbook and say, go do it on your own. Because that's, if it's hard stuff, that could be hard to do. So because of the whole pandemic, I've moved all my teaching currently to online teaching. And I have a YouTube channel where I post lessons. I go over homework questions. I already offer all my worksheets online through Google Drive. And so I was thinking that's what I could do. I could go ahead and start creating all my lessons for the first 3 units that really cover all the stuff that you need to be good at. And you're going to have the opportunity to do that. But this would be better than you getting a pre-calc book and trying to cover an insane amount of material on your own without any help. So I'm going to do the lessons for the first 3 units and as much of those as you can try and do the assignments and kind of start to wrap your head around. over the summer, or even earlier. I might start putting some of this stuff before summer. That'll just give you that much more of a chance to succeed. I mean, if you have a super A plus in Algebra 2, it is possible that you could do nothing and eventually be successful in calculus. But anything you can do is going to help you be more successful. So if you could try and do this first 3 units over the summer, it's 7 weeks worth of, 7 weeks of school worth of material. But that would be including tests and things like that. I'm not going to give you tests, but I'll give you like pre-tests, and you can try all these things out, do the notes, do the homework, watch the videos of me going over questions. And then when you come back to school in the fall, you're going to get to see that stuff again. And you probably won't have figured it all out the first time, even with all these resources, but you'll have a way better chance. I think this will be way better than the students who are like studying stuff out of the pre-calc book and trying to do assignments on their own. I think this will actually be more effective than all the success stories I just described over the last 4 years. Okay, so you guys will be the 5th generation or the 5th class of students that I've been getting to skip pre-calc. And so my hope is, though, that we get a bunch of you guys so that we can actually have Calc BC in 2 years, so that you guys can be in that class in 2 years. So anyways, talk to your teachers. Feel free to try and reach out to me. I'll give you my cell phone number. It's area code 661-331-9108. You can text me, call me. You can send me an email at sam.Vonderheide, Vonderheide at lmusd.org. And just let me know who you are. Let me know your situation. Let me know who your Algebra 2 teacher was. I'm also going to be getting lists from them and trying to reach out to contact you guys too. I'll be posting some more detailed information about how I'm going to do things this summer, but this was just an intro video to get you to consider taking this leap. This is also for this is also for juniors, who want to take Calc AB next year. They'd be taking pre-calc next year. So if you're a junior and you're doing very well in Algebra 2, this is your opportunity to actually make the jump to calculus before you graduate. And that looks great on your college applications, and you can get college credit for it, and gives you a weighted GPA. And I think it's a lot of fun. It's an interesting class. It's a class where kind of everything starts to come together from all your previous years in math. You'll be like, oh, that's why I learned that. Okay. So it's a little, it's a little less just learning isolated skills, and now we're using them all together. So that's kind of fun and challenging. So thank you. And I look forward to having some kind of communication with you guys.